Your OnTask table desk arrives in 5 boxes: 2 brackets, the top, a beam, and the 2 legs in a singular box. We recommend the use of a power screw gun drill, Phillips screwdriver, and Allen head wrench for ease of assembly. These are the bolts and screws that come with your OnTask legs, and also the 4 bolts that come with your brackets.
For your OnTask table desk, what you're going to get in the box is your 2 legs in one box, one each of these brackets, and then your adjustable beam. The adjustable beam, as you can see, everything has their parts laid out. There's your parts for your legs, the parts for your brackets. Your center beam will have the instructions wrapped around the beam, and then the hardware will be inserted inside the leg. And sometimes what you got to do is just shake it out of there, reach in, and get it to pop out. There's your hardware pack for your adjustable main beam.
Here you see all the hardware laid out for the adjustable beam.
Assembly of your OnTask table desk is really a lot about the pre-work. You'll have in your box your 2 legs, you'll have your 2 bracket support connectors, and then your main adjustable beam. What you're going to do is build the frame together first and attach the brackets to the legs and then the beam in between. You're going to loosely attach the beam before you tighten everything into place once you set the table in place, and then the table gets attached once we have the frame together from the underside. And we'll show you all that in the next step. To assemble your OnTask table desk, what you're going to do is you're going to take your bracket support and your leg. You're going to capture your bracket here over the holes towards the inside of the brackets, which will help support the table. Included with your legs are 4 bolts. You're going to take 2 of those bolts and thread them through the top here. Tighten them with your Phillips screwdriver. These 2 in place. Then you're going to grab one of your screws that came with the bracket. You're going to thread it through the bottom through one of the holes. And you're just going to thread that into place. And then take your Phillips screwdriver and tighten that into place as well. You only need to do one of those. You'll use the other 3 to connect into here in just a moment. And you'll repeat that on the other leg as well. Now that you have both of your brackets attached to each of your legs, and again, you want to make sure that you're going to have all these brackets that are attached to the leg facing to the inside because they're going to help to support the desk from the underside. Once you have that complete, you're going to move on to your bracket here, your main assembly bracket. Now your main assembly bracket here has markings on it that say things such as main beam 60 and you line up to it. What we suggest is you get those lined up pretty close to where they go, stand it upright, and then just thread in the first couple of holes your screws. Don't put anything in here too tight because you see there's some adjustable range in there, as you can see from the spacing, which is perfectly fine because what we're trying to do is get the main frame together before we start assembling the top to the desk. This will give us some ability to move things around. Put 1 or 2 screws in each side, and you'll be good to go. All right, now that you have your beam loosely assembled, we're going to take our first side of our legs, and we're going to take it so that all of these holes that are on your beam are face down towards the floor. Insert your beam over the connecting bracket like so. And then loosely do the same thing on this side. You're just going to insert that bracket. And we're just trying to get this so it doesn't fall down on us while we're assembling. Okay? Once we have that in position, then we're going to look at these holes that you have here. We're going to get these lined up and use the bolts that were included with the support leg. And we're just going to insert those into these holes here. You see we've got 3 holes. Once we line those up, we just insert our brackets into there, hand tighten with our Phillips screwdriver, and we'll do that with all the holes that line up, these 3 here, and then the 3 on the other side as well. All right, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to put your top then on top of your frame, and you can see you've got multiple holes on the back of your top. Those holes are not anything we're going to use when we're putting together our OnTask table desk. Those holes are used for other configurations, different leg mounts. All of our configuration with this particular unit will be wood screws, which we'll use shortly here. And we're going to pop some holes into the back of here by piloting holes through the frame here in these two spots here, here, in here, throughout the bracket, and then there. So you'll see that in a second. We'll do that from the underside, which is the easiest way to actually assemble this. So we set this on top here, and we'll get it centered and adjusted so that it's in place. And then once you have it centered and in place, then you're just going to attach the desk from the underside to the frame of this unit. All right, once you have your table all lined up on the top, then you're just going to come through underneath here and through these holes. You're going to set up your drill, and you're just going to go in and pilot a hole in there. And you're going to do that for each of these holes. And you've got 4 of them on each leg, 2 on each side of each leg. And then you're going to take your wood screws, you're going to insert them through that hole. You're going to go up inside here, all the way through to your tabletop, and then insert them into the tabletop. You also do the same thing for each of these extender brackets here. You're just going to drill into the bottom of the top, and then insert your wood screw into each one of those holes as well. All right, and once you've got all of your wood screws in on both legs, then you can come back and tighten up your main beam screws, the 1 or 2 that you put in up in the front of the bracket, and then always this last one here of the 2 set is always kind of your catch pin. And then you just come through and tighten up the rest of these and add the same screws to the other side, and you're done with the underneath assembly on the table.
And there is your completed OnTask table desk ready for use.